Arsenal sent worrying. Martin Odegaard. Injury update by Norway manager makes subscribe for the more Arsenal news. Norway manager Ståle Solbakken has claimed Arsenal midfielder Martin Odegaard is still some distance away from being able to return to action. The 2025-26 campaign has been a tough one for Odegaard, who was twice struck down by a shoulder injury during the early weeks of the season before suffering a nasty knee problem in October, which has kept him sidelined ever since. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has refused to put a time frame on Odegaard's return, but, prior to the international break, suggested he was not far off alongside fellow sidelined stars Kai Havertz, Noni Madueke, and Gabriel Martinelli. Solbakken, however, was not as confident when quizzed on his captain's fitness at the start of the November international window. Odegaard's recovery is steady, he explained. It is going in a steady direction, but he is some distance away. Odegaard to spend international break with Norway. Similar to Manchester United centre-back Lisandro Martinez, Arsenal have granted Odegaard permission to divide his recovery over the next few weeks between the Gunners and the Norway national team. He will fly in to Oslo after his rehab on Thursday, Solbakken confirmed. Then he will continue his rehab with us and will be with us from Thursday afternoon. I don't know when the flight leaves, but he will be with us until Milan on November 16th. Arsenal had been hopeful of welcoming Odegaard back in time for the North London derby, but doubts over his availability for that fixture surfaced as early as last month, when it was highlighted the midfielder would be out until at least after the November break. Odegaard himself confessed it was tricky to put a date on his potential return, admitting much will be decided when he gets back on the training pitch. Great to have him back. Forgotten Arsenal star. Returns to training. Mikel Arteta says he loved the reaction of his teammates after Gabriel Jesus's long-awaited return to training. The Brazilian forward hasn't featured for the Premier League leaders for close to 10 months, having torn his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, against Manchester United in an FA Cup third-round tie last January. Jesus has suffered numerous injury problems throughout his career in England, dogging not only his spell with Arsenal, but also his time with Manchester City. And this latest injury has required a significant amount of rehabilitation. Not in contention to play in the early stages of the 2025-26 Champions League, Jesus was left out of Arsenal's squad for the competition when it was confirmed in the summer. But he is eligible to return to Premier League action at any point. The 28-year-old registered by the club at the beginning of the season. A huge milestone in Jesus' recovery took place on Thursday as he returned to training, and Arteta was beaming about his progress when asked in his latest pre-match press conference for an update on his condition. Obviously, he's been doing everything on his own. Now he's got players around him, very competitive players around him, and see how he copes with that, the Spaniard said. But he's full of energy. I love the reaction of all his teammates when he first joined us, and, yeah, great to have him back. He added of a potential return date. I don't know. Now it's about making the steps day by day in a different surrounding. Arteta was also asked about Arsenal's other injury issues, which have seen several key first-team players sidelined. Kai Havertz has been out for a number of months, but he's recently been joined on the treatment table by Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli, captain Martin Odegaard, and big-money summer signing Victor Gyökeres. It appears there may be potential returns against Sunderland, with Arteta saying, when asked if all would be absent, "I cannot confirm all of that, but you are not far." After the weekend clash with Sunderland, the Premier League breaks off for the final international fixtures of 2025. A final chance for a bit of club football respite before the hectic Christmas schedule takes hold. Arteta wasn't overly hopeful that all of his injured stars will be available when Arsenal return to action, suggesting a lot would need to go the Gunners' way to get the outcome they desire. Some of them, all of them, I don't know. Arteta mused about immediate returns post-internationals. There are a lot of things that have to happen in the next 2 weeks, and everything has to be perfect. But I think we'll be very close with most of them to be in a really strong position.
We head to Sunderland for the first time in 8 years on Saturday, 5:3 p.m., looking to increase our lead at the top of the Premier League table and create more history in the process. Should our 13-game unbeaten run continue with another victory coupled with a clean sheet, we would become the first English top-flight side ever to win 9 consecutive matches in all competitions without conceding, while a 9th straight shutout would set a new club record. The omens look good as we are unbeaten in our last 12 games against the Black Cats in all competitions, but Regis Lebris' current crop will pose a very different test. Their excellent start sees them begin the weekend in 4th place, and no team has yet left the Stadium of Light with 3 points since they returned to the top table of English football. After winning the Championship playoff final in dramatic circumstances to end an 8-year wait for a top-flight return, few would have predicted that the Black Cats would make such an impression in the season's first few months. 18 points have already been claimed. The most promoted side has won 10 games into a Premier League season since Hull City in 2008-09, while the Black Cats remain unbeaten at the Stadium of Light this season, having beaten West Ham United, Brentford and Wolves, as well as drawing with Aston Villa and then Everton on Monday night. That point against the Toffees, clinched with a goal from ex-gunner Granit Xhaka, extended their unbeaten run to 3, which also includes a surprise 2-1 victory at Chelsea a fortnight ago, when top scorer Wilson Isidore bagged his 4th of the campaign before Morocco winger Kemsteen Talbai netted a 93rd-minute winner, Mikel Arteta's pre-Sunderland press conference. Arteta, when you analyze Sunderland and see how well organized they are, how they adjust things and the spirit they have within the team, I'm not surprised. They fully deserve the position that they have at the moment. It is going to be a different game to Tuesday, a very different game to Tuesday and to the week before. We need to read it, we need to understand very early what the game requires, what we have to do to be better than them and hopefully beat them. Lebris, we have to be brave, we have to play our best football, and if we are afraid or a bit reserved against this team, we'll be punished. If we are too emotional, we'll be punished, so it has to be a masterclass. It's a perfect test after 10 games. It's exactly what we want, to be competitive in this league and to play against these great teams. It will be a different match, different game, but I think and hope we will be ready. Arteta has confirmed it is unlikely that any of the players who sat out our Champions League win in Prague on Tuesday will be in contention to return on Saturday, meaning Victor Gyökeres and Gabriel Martinelli haven't recovered from their hamstring and groin issues respectively. It is hoped that some of Martin Odegaard, Noni Madueke and Kai Havertz could be available following the international break after rehabbing their knee injuries, as could Gabriel Jesus, who has returned to light training following his lengthy layoff. Sunderland centre-back Omar Alderweireld had started every game before picking up a concussion in the win against Wolves last month, and having missed the last 3 games is unlikely to be fully recovered for Saturday. Club record signing Habib Diarra remains out with a groin problem, while Ajibola Ali's shoulder, Dennis Sirkin wrist, Romain Mundle hamstring, Leo H. Gelda Achilles and Habib Diarra groin have all been out for over a month and will also sit this out one. Adrian Clark. No Premier League side has a higher dual success rate than Sunderland, so in what is likely to be a hostile atmosphere, we can expect Lebris' side to be strong, forceful and aggressive. At the outset at least, the hosts will want to turn it into a physical battle. The Black Cats have quality on the ball too, with Xhaka a revelation in central midfield. Unusually, he has been used on the right of a midfield pairing in recent weeks, oozing quality with his short and long-range passing. It would also put him in regular contact with Declan Rice in a duel between 2 of the division's most informed midfielders. Tactically, we can't be sure which formation Lebris will deploy. He started the campaign with a 4-3-3 that evolved into a 4-2-3-1, but in their last 2 matches, the Weresiders have played in a 3-4-2-1 that becomes 5-4-1 out of possession. Given how well we are playing at the moment, I sense that Sunderland will go with a back 3 once again. If they don't, it will be a sign they plan to be positive in their approach. We must look out for Nordi Mukil's long throws above, and mark Hale End Academy graduate Dan Ballard very closely as he has had 9 headed shots in 2025-26, second only to Erling Haaland. The diminutive Enzo Lafi is skillful in wide areas, and our shooting will also need to be clinical against Robin Roefs, who has an 81% save accuracy, preventing 2.7 extra goals.